Hello guys, this is Gavin's Club here, and today, I'm doing another video, and, story of this video is going to be about fantasy football, and I haven't done a fantasy football update in a long time. It's probably been, about 2 weeks. I've been kind of a little busy, but I'm here to do a fantasy football update, another one. Unfortunately, the last 3 weeks I have lost. I am now 6-4. I was 6-2 my last. I have lost 2 more games. My fantasy team has been I've been struggling with players being hurt, players being on bye. So players are getting hurt and players are being on bye at the same time. So I have to go to the market, pick up players, and it was kind of a really a struggle for me to really get that. But it looks as of right now, my players are all the players that I have on my roster. I did, move some players, put some more players, move and left. The players that I have on my roster right now are players that I feel can definitely win. Can it win the season out? My fantasy football playoffs are not going to start until week 15, week 16 is my playoff. Week 11, 12, 13. So I have about 4 more games that I have to go, and then we will place playoffs. Right now, even though I lost the last 2, I am still in second place in my league. AJ Green, he's been battling up and down. Sometimes he's good, sometimes he's bad. He's a gamble I'm always going to put out there. Mike Evans is a wide receiver. He was hurt. Then he came back, and then he was on bye. So he was a little tight. Cobb at the same time. Cobb, the wide receiver, he was hurt, come back, hurt, come back, hurt, come back. So he was hurt, and then he came back. So, running back, Carolina running back, he has been, sometimes he plays, sometimes he's not. I picked him up. He's good. And finally, in my lineup, I have McCoy. I think he is going to be a good addition. He was really during the beginning of the season, he was really putting that points. He was really putting the points up for me. Averaging 20, 22, 23, 24 points. And then he got hurt. He was out for 2 weeks. And then he came back. He really didn't do well. And then he come back. Then he was on bye. And now he's back in my lineup. He projected at 14. I'm hoping he brings that truth and actually get me on to these wins. If he can get me these wins, I feel confident that I can definitely get some. I'm hoping. I'm really hoping. Tight end. My tight end has been probably the most trouble. Not really running backs, not really wide receivers, because I've been really focusing on what I do, but I think my tight end has been probably the most difficult thing to do. He was hurt. He was on bye. He was hurt. He was on bye. So he was hurt. Then he was on bye. He was hurt, on bye, hurt, on bye. He was hurt multiple times. And then he got on bye. So I'm putting him back in. Hopefully can do something for me. This guy right here, this running back is the running back that I put in place for McCoy. I thought he was going to do well. He hasn't been doing crap. Pete is not putting him in. He has not done absolutely crap. And that's too bad. And, yeah. Jones, he's a good guy. He's also a good guy. He has been going in there and playing again, but he's on bye. He hasn't really, these last guys hasn't been really doing well. Phillip Rivers, he was the quarterback that I put in when Big Ben was hurt. And I'm going to get to Big Ben in a minute. But he's on my bench. Now, Big Ben, on the other hand, he was hurt. And then when he came back, I didn't really want to put him back into to go in there and not do the well and not do the best. I didn't want to do that. So I waited for him to get better. And, and then one game I put him in, and I remember the first 3 quarters he got me like 4 points. And then that last quarter, he was coming back, and he scored 3 touchdowns and got me about 20. But between him and Phillip Rivers are both the same. So my kicker has been averaging me really well. Same thing. I've been going back and forth between the Minnesota kicker I had, between him and I'm very happy about the kicker that I received. My defense. Seattle that 1 week when Arizona was on bye, I put them in, and they didn't do crap. Arizona has a really good defense, and really, really good. Now, Seattle has a good defense, and, last week they played New England, and, they only got 6, but, Arizona defense has really been putting up there. The last 3, I lost 3 in a row. I'm not complaining, but week 7, week 8, week 9, week 10, week 10, 9, and 8. Number 3 are most buys. I knew in the season when I look ahead, that was to be my hardest weakness. And I knew week 11 would probably be hard too. But I feel after this week, I have nobody on bye. I have nobody on bye, and players are going to be back, and I'm feeling this week I can do well because this guy here, he hasn't won a game. My grandpa just tweaked by it. If he would have kept it up, he could have had a season, but he hasn't kept up. He hasn't won a game. So I'm feeling this week I can beat him. The next 3 games, I'm feeling I have a chance. I want to win at least 2. If I go out with five losses, it's not really going to hurt me, is it? I would like to go out with 10. Boom, but I don't see that happening. I'm seeing my record. I'm projecting a 9-5, 9-5, or an 8-3. I feel like I can definitely win 2 out of the 4 games left. This game and this game and another game. I can definitely win. If I can win more, I would love to. But I feel like I'm definitely gonna lose probably 1 more game. And if we look at the league right now, where the league stands, my dad, it doesn't go by losses, but these losses 6-4. There's 3 teams 6-4. Me, Christopher, and Roland. We are all 6-4. Basically, it goes by the fantasy football points. See, it goes by the fantasy football points. And what's unique about the fantasy, it goes by basically on fantasy football points. And basically, for me to drop down to 3rd place, it's gonna be wild because I'm gonna keep getting more points. Within the next 4 games, he needs to get about 43 points above me. And between Christopher and Roland, that's a pretty decent drop as well. Okay. I think the standings are gonna be there, but do I think I can get into 1st place? Yeah, but I just have to. I have to score about 22 extra points. Then what happened? So he's just keep adding them up. Every day. Me and him are both averaging. Really well. I'm having total of the points I have is 1,004, and at least every game, some of the games I might do less than 100, but I'm averaging about 100 points a game, and that's pretty impressive. 162 points week. 106. I just have to go out there, and if 1 game I get 130 and he gets 100 and whatever, I just have to go above him. However many points he has, I have to compare his points and my points, and I have to go above him. Whatever points he's at, I have to pop a 27. And that's what basically it is. If you look at the scores, I scored 84, and he scored 104. And actually, this week is actually the reason why we separated. We separated by 100 points. We were separated by that. And the only reason why we were separated by 20 is because of this week. Next week, I'm hoping I can go above him. And if I can get above him by 10 and then 5, if I can get above him about 5 a game, we can have it out. The player who had the most points this week was Uncle Christopher. For the most points. 2nd points was Ronnie. 3rd was this. But man, let me tell you something. Roland's team and Amber's team, my grandpa just nailed it by a half point. And Reason why is because most of his players he had New England. Tom Brady, Gronkowski, a lot of New England, and they did well, but not as well as they normally did. I feel like pretty much I'm gonna probably stay. I'm hoping in first, but first and second place are not going to change. The next 4 games, I feel like this is the standings. If we go over playoffs look like that. They take the first 4 teams, and they're that. I'm sorry to say, but I'm really thinking Ronnie's team, you're going to be out of the playoffs, and you can blowout. You can see how many points he's above. It's going to be a blowout. Ronnie's Rays, mine that. The champion of the fantasy football is going to be a tough one. I lost against every single one of these teams that right now were how it looks like in there. I'd rather play Uncle Christopher than Roland, because Roland has beat me every single time in fantasy. I haven't beaten him once. Uncle Christopher, I beat him once, and he beat me once. I don't want to play Uncle. So if I can get in first place, I don't want to. I kind of want to stay in Sutton, get my team, and then boom. But to be the grand champion, I'm gonna have to. It'll be some tough decision. December 13th is when I'll start. So less than a month. Day after Christmas, we find out who's the grand champion of the fantasy football. That would be great to find out whose fantasy football is. Yeah, fantasy football is a great thing. I love doing it every year. I can't believe it's already week 11. I am big into football, and I haven't done a fantasy football video in a while, but this is why